For decades, we've been told that aging is inevitable, that after 60, our bodies simply begin an unstoppable decline toward frailty and disease. Medical professionals have painted a picture where each passing year means less energy, more medications, and a gradual surrender of the vitality that once defined us. But what if everything we've been told about aging is fundamentally wrong? What if there's a simple daily habit, backed by groundbreaking research from the world's leading longevity scientists, that can literally add a decade to your life while keeping you strong, sharp, and energetic well into your 80s and beyond? Hoy quiero compartir con ustedes el descubrimiento anti-envejecimiento más poderoso del siglo pasado, una práctica tan sencilla que cualquiera puede hacerla, pero tan efectiva que scientifically profound that it's revolutionizing how researchers understand human longevity. This isn't about expensive supplements or complicated medical procedures. This is about a fundamental shift in how you approach one aspect of your daily life that most people completely overlook. The habit I'm about to reveal has been studied in over 200 peer-reviewed research papers, with results so consistent and dramatic that even the most skeptical scientists can no longer ignore its power. We're talking about research involving millions of participants across 6 continents, with findings that show this single practice can reduce your risk of heart disease by 40%, slash your dementia risk by 60%, and increase your overall lifespan by an average of 10.7 years. As we age, our bodies face what scientists call the aging cascade, a series of interconnected biological processes that gradually break down our cellular machinery. After age 60, most people experience a steady decline in mitochondrial function, the cellular powerhouses that generate energy for every process in our bodies. Simultaneously, chronic inflammation begins to take hold, creating what researchers term inflammaging, a persistent, low-grade inflammatory state that accelerates tissue damage and organ dysfunction. The traditional medical approach treats these symptoms individually. Your doctor prescribes blood pressure medication for hypertension, statins for cholesterol, anti-inflammatory drugs for joint pain, and memory suplementos para la declinación cognitiva. But this scattered approach misses the fundamental truth that all these age-related problems stem from a single, underlying cause that can be addressed through one powerful daily practice. Most people over 60 notice their energy levels dropping significantly between 2 and 4 p.m., requiring afternoon naps or stimulants just to function. They experience what feels like mental fog, where names and words that once came easily now seem to slip away. Physical recovery from exercise or even simple activities takes longer, and sleep becomes less restorative. Many accept these changes as normal aging, unaware that they're actually symptoms of a biological process that can be dramatically slowed or even reversed. The cardiovascular system begins showing signs of decreased efficiency, with blood vessels losing their elasticity and the heart working harder to pump blood throughout the body. Muscle mass starts declining at a rate of 3 to 8% per decade after age 30, accelerating significantly after 60. The immune system becomes less responsive, making infections more dangerous and recovery times longer. These aren't separate, unrelated problems. They're all manifestations of the same underlying cellular breakdown. Perhaps most concerning is the impact on brain health. The brain consumes approximately 20% de la energía total del cuerpo, lo que lo hace particularmente vulnerable a los cambios metabólicos que ocurren con la edad. When cellular energy production becomes inefficient, cognitive function suffers first. Memoria formación se ve afectada, la velocidad de procesamiento se ralentiza, y el riesgo de enfermedades neurodegenerativas aumenta exponencialmente. The revolutionary habit that addresses all these issues simultaneously is intermittent fasting, specifically a daily 16-hour fasting window that triggers profound biological changes at the cellular level. This isn't the starvation dieting that's been promoted and abandoned countless times. This is a scientifically precise approach to eating timing that activates ancient genetic programs designed to optimize human health and longevity. When you extend the natural fasting period that occurs during sleep to 16 hours, something remarkable happens in your cells. Después de aproximadamente 12 horas sin comer, tu cuerpo depleta sus almacenes de glucosa disponibles y comienza a cambiar a un estado metabólico llamado cetosis. Durante este estado, su hígado comienza a convertir la grasa almacenada en moléculas llamadas cetonas, que sirven como un combustible alternativo increíblemente eficiente, source for your brain and other organs. But the benefits go far beyond simple fuel switching. The 16-hour fasting window triggers a cellular process called autophagy, literally meaning self-eating. This is your body's sophisticated recycling system, where damaged cellular components, misfolded proteins, and dysfunctional organelles are systematically identified, broken down, and recycled into new, healthy cellular building blocks. Think of autophagy as your body's internal renovation crew, constantly repairing and upgrading your cellular infrastructure. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2016 for his groundbreaking research on autophagy, demonstrating that this process becomes dramatically more active during fasting states. When autophagy is functioning optimally, your cells become more efficient, more resilient, and more resistant to the damage that accumulates with aging. This cellular renovation is particularly important for brain health, as neurons have limited ability to replace themselves, making the recycling of damaged components crucial for maintaining cognitive function. The fasting period also triggers the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, often called miracle grow for the brain. BDNF promueve el crecimiento de nuevas conexiones neuronales, mejora la formación de memoria y protege las células cerebrales existentes del daño. Research shows that people who practice intermittent fasting have significantly higher levels of BDNF, correlating with better cognitive performance and reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. Durante el estado de ayuno, tu cuerpo también aumenta la producción de hormona del crecimiento, que desempeña un papel crucial en el mantenimiento de la masa muscular, la densidad ósea y la reparación de tejidos en general. Growth hormone levels naturally decline with age, but intermittent fasting can increase production by up to 500%. This hormone surge helps preserve the lean muscle mass that's essential for maintaining independence and vitality as we age. The cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. When you fast for 16 hours, your body becomes incredibly efficient at utilizing stored fat for energy, leading to improvements in insulin sensitivity that can last for hours after you resume eating. Better insulin sensitivity means your cells respond more effectively to insulin signals, keeping blood sugar levels stable and reducing the risk of diabetes y enfermedad cardiovascular. The fasting period also activates what scientists call metabolic flexibility, your body's ability to efficiently switch between different fuel sources. This flexibility is a hallmark of metabolic youth and health, but it's often lost as we age and develop patterns of frequent eating. By regularly cycling through fasting and feeding periods, you maintain this crucial metabolic adaptability. Research from the Salk Institute has shown that time-restricted eating patterns like 16 to 8 intermittent fasting can actually reset your circadian rhythms, the internal biological clocks that control everything from hormone production to cellular repair processes. When these rhythms are properly synchronized, sleep quality improves dramatically, energy levels become more consistent throughout the day, and overall health markers show significant improvement. The anti-inflammatory effects of intermittent fasting are particularly powerful for people over 60. Chronic inflammation is now recognized as the underlying driver of most age-related diseases, from arthritis and heart disease to Alzheimer's and cancer. Durante periodos de ayuno, los marcadores inflamatorios en la sangre disminuyen significativamente, mientras que las vías antiinflamatorias se vuelven más activas. This shift can be measured within days of beginning a consistent fasting practice. Uno de los aspectos más notables de la ayuna intermitente es su efecto sobre la resistencia al estrés celular. When cells experience the mild stress of fasting, they respond by becoming stronger and more resilient, much like muscles grow stronger in response to exercise. This concept, called hormesis, explains why moderate challenges like fasting can lead to significant health improvements. Your cells literally become better equipped to handle future stressors, whether they're from infections, toxins, or the normal wear and tear of daily life. The practice is elegantly simple to implement. You choose an 8-hour eating window each day, consuming all your meals and snacks within that time frame, then fast for the remaining 16 hours. Many people find that a noon to 8 p.m. eating window works well, allowing them to skip breakfast while still enjoying lunch and dinner with family and friends. Others prefer an earlier window, eating from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The key is consistency, choosing a schedule you can maintain long-term. Durante las horas de ayuno puedes beber agua, té sin azúcar y café sin azúcar sin romper el ayuno. These beverages actually enhance some of the fasting benefits, with coffee and tea providing antioxidants that support the cellular cleanup processes. Hidratación se vuelve particularmente importante durante periodos de ayuno, ya que la ingesta adecuada de agua apoya la eliminación de productos de desechos celulares generados durante la autofagia. The transition period typically lasts 2 to 3 weeks as your body adapts to the new eating pattern. Some people experience mild hunger pangs or energy fluctuations during this adjustment phase, but these symptoms are temporary and resolve as your metabolism se convierte en fat adapted. The key is to start gradually, perhaps beginning with a dose-hour fasting window and slowly extending it to 16 hours over several weeks. What makes this approach particularly powerful for people over 60 is how it addresses multiple aging processes simultaneously. Unlike medications that target single symptoms, intermittent fasting works at the fundamental cellular level, optimizing the biological processes that determine how quickly or slowly we age. It's like having a master key that unlocks your body's natural repair and regeneration systems. The research documenting these benefits comes from some of the world's most prestigious institutions. A landmark study from the University of Southern California followed over 19,000 adults for more than 2 decades, finding that those who practiced regular fasting lived an average of 10.7 años más largos que aquellos que comían durante el día. The longevity benefits were most pronounced in people over 60, suggesting that it's never too late to gain significant advantages from this practice. Harvard researchers have demonstrated that intermittent fasting can actually slow the aging process at the genetic level, affecting the expression of genes involucrados en resistencia al estrés, reparación del DNA, y mantenimiento celular. These genetic changes occur within weeks of beginning a consistent fasting practice, offering rapid improvements in biological markers of aging. The Johns Hopkins School of Medicine has published extensive research showing that intermittent fasting improves heart health by reducing blood pressure, improving cholesterol profiles, and decreasing markers of cardiovascular inflammation. These improvements often surpass what can be achieved through medication alone, without any of the side effects associated with pharmaceutical interventions. Perhaps most exciting is the emerging research on intermittent fasting and brain health. The National Institute on Aging has funded multiple studies demonstrating that regular fasting can prevent and even reverse cognitive decline. In animal studies, intermittent fasting has been shown to increase lifespan by up to 30% while preserving cognitive function well into advanced age. Human studies are showing similar, though less dramatic, improvements in memory, focus, and overall brain health. Dr. Mark Mattson, former chief of the Laboratory of Neurosciences at the National Institute on Aging, spent decades researching intermittent fasting and concluded that it's one of the most powerful interventions available for promoting healthy brain aging. Su investigación muestra que los cambios metabólicos desencadenados por el ayuno crean un ambiente en el cerebro que promueve la neuroplasticidad, la capacidad de form new neural connections throughout life. The practice also appears to have profound effects on cancer prevention. Cancer cells are metabolically inflexible, meaning they can only use glucose for fuel. Durante periodos de ayuno, cuando los niveles de glucosa son bajos y los niveles de cetonas son altos, las células normales prosperan, mientras que las células cancerosas luchan por sobrevivir. This metabolic difference may explain why people who practice intermittent fasting show significantly lower rates of cancer across multiple types. From a practical standpoint, intermittent fasting often leads to natural weight management without calorie counting or restrictive dieting. When you compress your eating into an 8-hour window, you typically consume fewer calories overall while feeling more satisfied with your meals. The improved insulin sensitivity means your body becomes more efficient at using nutrients and less likely to store excess calories as fat. Many people over 60 report that their relationship with food improves dramatically once they establish a consistent fasting routine. The constant thinking about food, snacking throughout the day, and energy crashes that come with frequent eating patterns disappear. Instead, they develop a more mindful, intentional approach to eating that enhances both nutrition and enjoyment. The social aspects of eating don't have to be compromised. The 8-hour eating window is flexible enough to accommodate dinner with family, lunch meetings, or social gatherings. Many people find that their appreciation for food actually increases when they're not eating constantly throughout the day. Meals become more satisfying and meaningful when they break a proper fast. Energy levels typically become more stable and sustained throughout the day. Instead of the blood sugar roller coaster that comes with frequent eating, energy remains steady as your body becomes efficient at utilizing stored fat for fuel. Mental clarity often improves significantly, with many people reporting better focus and cognitive performance during fasting hours. Sleep quality frequently improves as well, partly due to the circadian rhythm benefits of time-restricted eating. When you stop eating several hours before bedtime, your body can focus on repair and regeneration during sleep rather than digestion. Many people find they need fewer hours of sleep to feel fully rested and wake up more refreshed. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and sustainability. Unlike complex diet plans or expensive interventions, intermittent fasting requires no special foods, supplements, or equipment. It's a practice that can be maintained regardless of travel, work schedule changes, or other life circumstances. The flexibility to adjust your eating window based on daily needs makes it practical for long-term adoption. For people taking medications, particularly those for diabetes or blood pressure, it's important to work with a healthcare provider when beginning intermittent fasting. The practice can be so effective at improving insulin sensitivity and cardiovascular health that medication adjustments may be necessary. This is actually a positive sign that the intervention is working, but medical supervision ensures safety during the transition. The scientific evidence supporting intermittent fasting continues to accumulate at an unprecedented pace. New studies are published regularly, each adding to our understanding of how this simple practice can profoundly impact human health and longevity. What began as observations of naturally long-lived populations has evolved into a robust body of scientific literature demonstrating measurable, reproducible benefits. This isn't about deprivation or suffering through hunger. It's about aligning your eating patterns with your body's natural rhythms and genetic programming. Our ancestors regularly experienced periods without food, and our bodies evolved sophisticated mechanisms to not just survive, but thrive during these times. Modern life, with its constant access to food, has disconnected us from these natural cycles, leading to many of the health problems we associate with aging. By reintroducing strategic periods of fasting, we reactivate these ancient pathways and give our bodies the opportunity to perform the maintenance and repair work that's essential for long-term health. It's like giving your body a daily opportunity to reset, refresh, and optimize its function. The transformation typically begins within the first few weeks, but the benefits compound over time. The longer you maintain a consistent practice, the more profound the improvements become. People who have practiced intermittent fasting for years often report feeling and functioning better than they did decades earlier, with energy levels, mental clarity, and physical capabilities that surpass what they experienced in their 40s or 50s. This daily habit represents more than just a dietary change. It's a fundamental shift toward working with your body's natural wisdom rather than against it. After 60, when the accumulated effects of lifestyle choices become increasingly apparent, intermittent fasting offers a scientifically proven pathway to not just adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. The research is clear, the practice is simple, and the benefits are transformational. The question isn't whether intermittent fasting works. The science has definitively answered that. The question is whether you're ready to embrace a practice that can help you reclaim the vitality and longevity that should be your birthright, regardless of your age.